See how it all comes together.
Oh, how about that?
Thurman, a little more Rocky IV, Pacquiao, a little more technology. I know, see, you love when I explain all that to you. Time for us to go viral. Tom Brady, known for his accuracy and his football IQ. What he is not known for is his speed. Madden gave him the lowest speed for all quarterbacks. Well, Brady was not happy with this and made this video in response.
What would Brady run a 40 in right now?
He ran one. He timed it this summer. He ran better than his combine time.
Oh,
he ran a 5.2.
I was going to say 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. I appreciate that. 5.2. What would...
Here we go.
What would you run a 40 in, Jenna Wolf?
I could beat 5.2. 5.2? A 5.2 40? I could beat a 5.2 40. I think you think I can beat a 5.2 40.
I've heard people say they think what they're thinking is what they're thinking, but they're really not thinking that.
Yeah. You know, it's yards, not feet.
Okay. Okay. That's brilliant. Yeah, I think so. You could run a 5.2.
He's a Hall of Fame athlete.
But sometimes his hamstring goes out.
Is dry. Your cement's
okay,
dry.
what about this guy?
I moved out of my apartment yesterday,
yeah,
and they moved all my trophies. They got a lot of them.
A lot of trophies.
Okay, and I am not trying to pop a hamstring trying to...
No.
What did you
Chris
run?
almost tore his Achilles getting on the elevator the other day. Man, I saw that. I wish there was video of that.
I'm writing this down. We're going to train. 5.2 40.
Jenna, you wrote 5 foot 2 inches. That is not how it works. It's
Time for stories to start your morning.
You can't even write a 5.2 40. They didn't even run one.
I love you.
What did y'all do to
so
get here?
Much.
What? I mean, I don't know. I
love you so much. Mine was all verbal. A recent report says the Thunder are in no rush to trade newly acquired Chris Paul. Shockingly, suitors are not looking for a 34-year-old point guard who still has 3 years and $124 million left on his deal. Nick, how much does CP3 have left in the tank?
Listen, Chris Paul can still help a good team. But a good team doesn't have $37 million to pay him. So he's kind of betwixt and between here. When you see what the Thunder are able to get for Chris Paul, or maybe more accurately, what they have to give up to get someone to take Chris Paul, I think you might look at the Chris Paul-Russell Westbrook trade a little bit differently. But he's going to start the year in Oklahoma City. I'm pretty convinced of that.
Yeah, Chris Paul, he's got a bad contract. You think that the first year, it's okay if he was in Houston. But now playing with a younger team, is he the guy that you want mentoring all these young players? I mean, he's had an accomplished career, but he has been tough to play with no matter where he's been.
Look for Minnesota maybe at some point to get in this game.
Moving on, another player on the move could be Andre Iguodala, the former Finals MVP, could soon be traded from the Grizzlies, with reports that the Lakers, the Rockets, and the Clippers are leading the charge. See, where do you think Iggy best fits?
Well, it depends on who gets an injury. Because if someone gets an injury, man, especially a wing player, I mean, he can play with all those teams. He's a great locker room guy. Guys around the league have a lot of respect for him. He's a guy that's going to buy into whatever role that he's playing. That's what he did there in Golden State. Man, any of those teams it would help their roster to add Iggy to him, Nick.
I would listen. He almost signed with Houston a few years ago. Remember that. If he gets bought out, I think all 3 of those teams will immediately try to court him. But as far as a trade goes, the only contending team that I could see actually trading for him is the Denver Nuggets. They have the contracts to make it work. He played in Denver, played really well in Denver. They think they can win the title. But I don't know if anyone's going to give up a draft pick to pay Iggy $17 million.
Do millennials know what courting is? Because you used that word.
Oh, okay. So the Nuggets might try to slide into his DMs.
Nope, then you went too far. Nope, bring it back a little.
No, I don't have to bring it back. He said I need to relate to the millennials and their rainbow toast and stuff.
I wish I could throw some soup on y'all.
Courting and
JR.
Moving on to J.R. Smith now. The Cavs waived the former NBA champ, and the Lakers are reportedly, quote, unlikely to reunite J.R. and LeBron. Nick, you think it's a mistake for the Lakers not to pursue J.R. Smith?
I mean, he would help, but if they only, I think Iguodala would help more. I think Korver potentially could help more. I'd rather have JR than Melo if they're saving that last roster spot for Melo. I think JR's got a little bit left in the tank. I think someone will pick him up. We knew the Cavs were going to waive him. They weren't going to pay him $15 million this year. This allows them to duck beneath the luxury tax, but I don't think JR's done.
I would like to see JR try to make a contribution on the team, but I can't forget last time I saw JR on a basketball court. And JR is not the type of person that with unsupervised time alone. That's what he's been doing the last year. No practice, no organization, no travel.
That's right.
Doing whatever he wanted to do.
JR will always have those 8 points.
On to the end. Ezekiel Elliott still has 2 years left on his rookie deal, so no need to start the extension talks just yet, right? Conventional wisdom? Not quite. Recent reports say Zeke could hold out of training camp, and talks could go sideways if Dallas isn't proactive on a new deal. Man, it seems to be the theme these days. CeCe, what would the Cowboys look like if that actually happens, if Zeke holds out?
You talking about Dak Prescott? Dak better not sign his contract if Zeke is not there.
No, he better sign it before they see him without Zeke.
No, I'm just saying for protection reason why. All right? Dallas Cowboys, they're not the offense without Ezekiel Elliott. Now, you're not going to take away a special player. I'm not going to make people think, oh, Zeke is just a normal running back. No, he's not.
It's only the Melvin Gordon situation.
No, come on, stop, man. The only things similar to them, they play running back. They're from the Big Ten. Listen, that's when everything starts to go in different directions. Zeke, since 2016, the only running back to average 800 yards a game. That's the most dependable. Besides Dallas Cowboys taking the field and that star being on their helmet, Ezekiel Elliott has been the most dependable thing since they drafted him. You knew he would be a great pro. You knew that he would be durable. Your question marks about him. The only thing, will he catch the ball out of the backfield? He has more than adequate hands out of the backfield. The screen game for Dallas is a huge part of what they do because he's such a great open field runner. He's the best running back in the NFL. Dallas is in a situation because of the precedent. The Rams were in the same situation that Zeke and the Cowboys are in with Todd Gurley. And Todd Gurley at that time considered to be one of the best backs in the league. They signed him to a contract extension. And you can believe with Zeke, with all those carries in his first 3 years in the league, he is going to hold out. And he wants his money because if you look at the lifespan of a running back, you have to look at their life totally different than the other players. And when you can demand that salary, you better hold tight on it because one injury, and Todd Gurley's a great example of it. John Wall in the NBA, he got his guaranteed money. Now he don't have to worry about it. Ezekiel Elliott, he really puts his career every single weekend at risk if he goes out there without a new contract.
And this is one of those instances where we can actually look back on a decent sample. What did the Cowboys look like without Ezekiel Elliott? Well, we know. In 2017, they were a 5-3 football team, and then Zeke finally had to serve that 6-game suspension. The first 3 games of that 6-game suspension, they were 0-3, and they were outscored 92-22. They averaged 7 points a game the first 3 games without him. Oh, they ended up rallying. They won the last 3, but in that stretch, what did it do to Dak? Dak in that 6-game stretch without Zeke, 190 yards per game, 5 total touchdowns, quarterback rating of 77. He had 1 good game that actually elevated that entire stretch against a moribund Giants team. He threw for 175 against Atlanta. He had a 30 quarterback rating against Philly, a 61 quarterback rating against the Chargers, threw for 100 yards against Washington. Their offense ground to a halt because if he's not out there and all of a sudden Dak, instead of facing 8-man boxes, is facing 7-man boxes or even 6-man boxes, now his limitations as a passer come to the forefront. So, listen, he's got 2 years left on his deal. The Cowboys got to pay Dak, Amari, Byron Jones, La'el Collins, maybe Jalen Smith. All those guys only have 1 year left on their deal. But he is so clearly their best player that even though he has 2 years left, he has an odd amount of leverage here in a season. The Cowboys, after winning their just their second playoff game in, 15 years. They think they can take a major step forward this season, making conference championship games.
What you know about Zeke and Jerry Jones and the way the Cowboys do business, does it get to the point where he has to hold out?
Yes. Because Dak's contract is up, Amari Cooper's contract is up, and his visit to the commissioner's office did not help his contract situation.
And see, Stephen Jones, the Joneses have been very vocal about paying Dak. Stephen Jones back in May, I don't want people to forget, when he was asked about Zeke, he said, that's something I'm sure will get worked out over the next couple years. That was in May. Zeke wants it worked out in the next couple weeks.
Well, you wonder how much of that leverage has been lessened because of that visit to the principal's office by Zeke. All right, coming up, is it title or bust for the Lakers this season? Still ahead.